It is No Gifts Please, the parenting podcast by the pair with no real gifts, but a whole lot of gumption. Hey everyone, I'm Steve Noviello.
And I'm Jenny Anchondo.
It is so lovely to see you.
You too. I'm so excited for today.
Oh my gosh, me too. We're so close to Christmas or whatever holiday you're celebrating. But listen, people are shopping. The coffees are now hot, although I'm still an iced coffee this time of year. And you are about to have a baby.
I'm about to have a baby. So that means you're supposed to have done all the Christmas shopping already. But, listen, that nursery wasn't even done like a week ago. So I peg you as got everything done early or perhaps even bought it in January the year before kind of guy. Am I right?
The one thing I'm good at is, and you'll remember when Hudson was born on his birthday is December 10th, and our Christmas card had his photo on it that year. People were like, what? In the actual fight?
I actually almost unfriended you that year. I was like, I don't need this kind of commitment or pressure or comparison for the rest of my life. And so it was a hard decision. I decided to stick with you.
Yes. I had them all ready to go. I just had to insert the one photo. Okay, so our guest today, I'm super excited about. And believe it or not, do you know that I've known this guy? Well, we first met 20 years ago.
Well, it was crazy because I was thinking I was pretty fancy for having known him for interviewing him. But then you actually knew him. All
right, well, for folks who don't know him, and you probably do, go ahead and tell them.
Yes, Kendall Motsney. You guys are like, Kendall Motsney? Who's that?
Oh, wait.
The Freebie Guy. That's how you know him on social media. He has millions of followers all over. And now he has a huge team of people who are working in this Freebie Guy empire. My words, not his, but I think that they are true. So he posts all of these different deals and steals and is kind of, I think, just like a media mastermind. And we actually have him here with us today for our last minute shopping and also our January shopping. Hey, Kendall, how are you?
Good. How's it going?
It's good.
Your first podcast.
It's my very first podcast.
Well, we're so glad we could be here to welcome you into the world of podcasting. And I have to say, usually when someone's working my corner on the deals, I'm like, but this is an exception.
He's
because
an icon.
I'm a fan. I really am a fan because I'm so impressed by how do you have the time to do all of this? I mean, there is first of all, for people who don't know, the freebieguy.com, there's so much stuff on here. Kind of walk me through it.
Well, it started from the beginning. I'll start with the freebies. That's kind of like the main where everything came from. I started with free samples. I actually started with them as a kid. We didn't really have like a lot growing up, and I was obsessed with getting mail. So calling 800 numbers, I realized you could get free stuff. And then as the internet came around, I started like Facebook. I'm like, oh, free sample. Like, I think my first one online was duct tape. I was like, whoa, free sample of duct tape. And then I started with the website. I went from freebies to sweepstakes. I was winning stuff. I won a trip to Mexico. I won a TV.
Oh, you're the guy who actually won those. Okay.
Somebody does win.
People win a lot of stuff. Surprisingly, I would say I have a group on Facebook just for freebies and sweepstakes. And in there, we probably have like $500,000 a month that people are winning in prizes year round.
It's incredible. So I was just on your, I think it's your Instagram page. I mean, there's millions of people that are following you. But you started with one. So it's been obviously quite a journey here. What do you think it is that makes you so popular with people? Is it the content? Is it the way that it's presented? Is it the exclusivity of some of it?
I don't really know the secret sauce. I think it's kind of how it's done, like how I go about doing it, and I really want to provide like a value to people that follow me. And I try to use I call it I try to present things like how would my grandma feel about this? Would my grandma be able to do this deal? Would it be easy for her? Would she feel bad about doing this deal? Because sometimes deals get into like a gray area. So that's kind of how I look at it. Like, how would my grandma feel about this deal? And would she be able to do it? And would it be easy for her?
So grandma approved.
Yeah, that's so good that you came across that intuitively. That's what people actually learn in marketing school and stuff. So
in journalism, that's
in
what
journalism
they teach us,
school. So it's interesting that you came upon that naturally, like you were destined to do this. So this started out as a venture of just you. Was it a goal to have millions of followers and a team and this being your full-time job?
I don't really think there was a goal. Like, I don't really know where I saw it or how I saw it. I just thought it was fun, and I knew people would follow along, and I knew other people could have fun doing it. And the way that I put content out, like free stuff, sweepstakes, deals, in-store shopping, there's literally something for anybody. Like, You don't have to have any money for free stuff. You don't have to have any money to do the sweepstakes. You can get stuff cheap. And then it goes up to like more expensive items where people are trying to get designer items for a cheaper price. So there really is like the entire spectrum that it covers.
Okay, so this time of year is kind of like, I would imagine like the Super Bowl for you, right? I mean, between Black Friday, which by the way, the deal started even before Black Friday when we were on your website back in, late October, early November. But now here we are and the Christmas holiday is coming. And even if you've already purchased all your stuff, there's still a way to save money on the things you already bought. Walk people through it.
Yes, a lot of the companies will do price match guarantees because Black Friday is like, it's not really just a day anymore. It's kind of like the entire holiday season. Companies will do a price match guarantee. They don't want people to be like, well, I bought it in October, but I want to wait until November or I want to wait till Black Friday. So what they do is they put a blanket price matching guarantee in place. Target has one, Best Buy has one, and basically any item you purchase between October and Christmas, if you notice that price going down lower, they'll price match it. So if you're
even if you already bought it.
Even if you already bought it.
So you go back to the store with your receipt and say, hey, listen, you're having a sale?
Yes. Or a lot of times, because a lot of people are shopping online now, you can hop on like customer service chat and do it with the online chat.
I love that.
I am shook.
And so our Black Friday prices or like doorbuster price. So if I bought a TV at Best Buy, let's say in, November 17th, and then the same model is like a doorbuster deal on Black Friday morning. Is there generally an exclusion for those kinds of like hyper sales?
Some companies will put an exclusion in place, but like Target, it really covers pretty much everything that one does with them. And a lot of items like they'll do for the best price. Usually they're going to give you the best price the whole season, basically is why they're offering that guarantee. But sometimes at the end when prices start going down as we get closer to the holiday, check those receipts. Go back if the price has dropped and get your money back. Are
people amazed when you go to the store? There's nothing more that I love than the feeling of like doing that because listen, they put these policies in place and knowing that most of the people are never going to take the time to do this. But when you do it and you go in and like you surprise the clerk by how effectively you have used their system that they put in place. I mean, it's got to be like, what? I mean, you're saving a lot of money.
It's fun. I did it one year, Black Friday. I did it with Best Buy. I bought a TV like the week before Black Friday. I just moved. I needed a TV. I went and bought the TV. Black Friday, it went cheaper. I actually went in and it was $700 cheaper, and I got $700 back.
This must have been a very large TV.
It was a pretty nice TV.
That's what I was going to say.
Oh my goodness!
But it was on Black Friday, and they did give me the $700 back, and it wasn't like a store credit or anything. It was back on my card.
That's
oh my
incredible.
gosh. Do you find that you do usually still need receipts at most of these stores?
A lot of stores, you don't really need a receipt anymore, especially if you're paying with a card. If you're paying with cash or a gift card, you definitely need a receipt. But especially with online shopping too, they'll have it by email. A lot of times they'll be able to look up receipts with your credit card as well.
So, and when we're talking about kind of the entirety of the shopping season here, one of the things that I find interesting about your website, because look, you've got to monetize this somehow. So you've got to make money by saving people money. And you've done that through partnerships, brand sponsorships and whatnot. So does that mean that there's exclusive content or exclusive deals for your followers because of those relationships?
There are sometimes I get like exclusive codes, like maybe a free shipping code, exclusive percentage off. Also, a lot of time I will get like a heads up on the deal and maybe like an exclusive period where people can just get that deal through me, like a Freebie Guy exclusive deal.
How did you even start to navigate that? I mean, do you just like call Nike one day and be like, hey, or did they come to
guy.
you? Right. Perhaps you've heard of me.
And they were like, actually, yes, we
yes,
have.
We have. We follow you.
They have like, there's usually third parties that kind of work that in the deal space or even in like the influencer space. There's a third party that's usually in the middle that kind of brokers that deals. And they had found me and they're like, hey, come on. And then that's kind of how I.
Well, because I feel like you're being a little modest here. I mean, I feel like Kendall's like the original influencer.
Yeah, because
you were doing this right before that was a thing.
I started with freebies in 2011, so that was definitely before video and anything like that online. And then I started with the video and Instagram in 2018, where I really went into videos. And then as TikTok came out, I did TikTok.
When did you start having to hire people to help you with this freebie website?
The first person I hired was 2016.
Wow.
2015.
And now you're a team of a dozen.
Yes, there's 12 of us.
Wow.
And what is your work? Okay, I really like. There's so many questions
I'm over here
that
trying
relate
to keep
to
time,
deals.
and you're like, wait.
I can't. I want to know what somebody in your space. I don't know if you consider yourself a freebie influencer, but what is your work day like?
I never know what the day is going to be. I wake up. My partner Greg, he asks every night before we go to bed. He's like, "What do we have to do in the morning?" I'm like, "Well, I don't know." And every day we wake up and we aren't sure exactly what we're going to be doing that day.
Yeah.
I mean, I know I have to get content on the website. I know I'm going to have to do videos. I'm going to have to do images. I'm going to have to do that sort of thing. But finding the deals, you never quite know what deal is going to pop up that day. And it's just about hunting online, finding deals. People send tips in. I get a lot of tips from people. So clearance, someone will send a message and be like, hey, the bedding is 70% off at Target. So then my whole day is out of whack because I have to go straight to Target and find the 70% off bedding.
Okay, so speaking of the deep discounts, they're great during the holidays, but the really good stuff, January.
January is the best shopping. Everyone does their shopping in October, November, December, but January, I think, is where you get the best deals. After Christmas sales, that's my favorite time of year to shop.
This is when we've all run out of money, though. This is when we.
Well, apparently you don't need much.
Yeah, exactly. And you gave your audience such a good tip not that long ago, saying that sometimes the price is actually not even listed at the store. So you guys have to follow along with him because it'll say like, oh, these Target, there were some Starbucks cups or something like that, and it was like it'll be in their system, but they haven't put the stickers up yet. So I thought that was a really good tip. But when it comes to January, what do we need to look for? What's coming in January?
My favorite things to shop for at the end of December and January are going to be your Christmas items, of course, your seasonal. Yep. Everyone knows that one. But Target and Walmart, they do a semi-annual every year, twice a year. They do a toy clearance that starts at the end of December and goes into January, and that's when Walmart, they'll start marking them down, and Target too. They'll start at about 50% off. Target will go to 70% off max, but Walmart, if you watch it, that stuff will go to 90, 95% off sometimes.
And by the time you get there, I mean, a store like Walmart is so popular. I mean, is it generally really picked over? Because I will say I'm always amazed when I follow your content at that time of year and you are doing these like hauls of like just tons of stuff.
Well, a lot of time what Jenny just said about the prices not being marked, a lot of people just don't know.
Realize it.
So they go in and they see they go to the seasonal section and they see the 50% off sign. They take that as what it is and they don't dig deeper into it to find the deal. So a lot of times the signs are wrong. A lot of stores are understaffed. So especially now, signs are not getting changed. And I always say scan. If you're clearance shopping, use the scanners. Target has in-store scanners. Walmart, you can use the app and check the price. And a lot of times it's actually cheaper. And a seasonal tip, I have to give the seasonal tip.
Please.
A lot of people just go to Target. They go to the back of the store where the seasonal always is. You want to check the clothes. Check the pet department. All the seasonal items have pet supplies that you can get cheap. The home decor section, like where you'll see like the Studio McGee in Target, there's usually pillows, blankets. And if you find anything like even a Christmas color or a fall color, whatever season it is that just passed that's on clearance, look for anything that looks remotely like that season and scan.
Because chances are that. Now, what do you do with that stuff? That I mean, because I do see sometimes.
What is your storage like?
Well, you're walking out of there with like 20 Cuisinarts. I'm like, what is he doing with these?
Well, a lot of like the kitchen stuff, like the Cuisinarts that you mentioned. I have a friend and she's active in charity in Tulsa, and they do an auction every year, and I give that stuff to her, and then they kind of auction it off and raise money. Mostly, what I shop for now is toys. And I save all my toys for the end of the year, and I donate them all at Christmas. So I start my toy hauls in January.
It's amazing.
And I save it I have 3 storage units. And I save it all year long until like November, December, and then I donate it all.
Oh, that is like super cool. I had no idea you were going to say that. I assumed that you were maybe reselling it or something.
I'm like, you got an eBay shop? What are you doing?
Well, it's interesting because the whole premise of this show is no gifts, please, as we are sort of advocating for no gifts. However, I thought, Steve, because nobody's actually doing it, we're still taking gifts to things. What a great idea if we could be organized and intuitive enough to get some of those popular gifts, purchase them in January for our kids to, hand out at the various birthday parties throughout the year and stuff.
One of the other things that I like about the website is, yes, there's a lot of shopping on it, but there's also a lot of activities. there's free food, there's kids eat free, and we do this sometimes. We'll go to like the craft day at the Home Depot or Michael's or whatever. I mean, you can find all of that stuff. And what always amazes me about those events, there's never anybody there. There's like 2 people.
And the Home Depot one especially is super cool. Like they'll give the kids an apron when they have them. They have pins for each activity the kids does that they can put on their apron. Like it's really cool and it's completely free.
Yeah. I had no idea about any. I guess I'm not a big person who frequents Home Depot, but I had no idea. But I think Brighton would love that.
Yeah, for sure.
If Heath took her. So that's really cool. You have the kids' activities. What's the best way to navigate your website? Because I've been more of an Instagram follower, so I see when you post a main feed post or the like. I just found out about this deal. But if somebody's like, okay, I want to strategize and use this for January, what's the best way to utilize the tools you have?
I would go by the menu. The menu is going to be our main items that we have. We have it broken down by freebies, which is going to be completely free stuff. Yeah. No credit card required freebies, like completely free. Sweepstakes is where these are legitimate sweepstakes that you can win, and then deals. And we also have a category for food deals as well, which has its own category because there are just so many food deals and freebies that pop up. And food freebies are one of my favorite things. And you can get something free food-wise pretty much every day of the week if you really played it right.
You also do penny shopping on your website, which is wildly popular and pretty legit.
Yes, that's at Dollar General. Dollar General penny shopping, that is really fun and really addictive when you get into it. It is.
What is it?
It is when you can. So Dollar General, going back to seasonal items at the end of a season when they clearance stuff out, stuff that doesn't sell, in their computer system, it goes down to a penny, which basically signifies that it's marked out of their system. Well, Dollar General policy is that they sell the items that ring up a penny. So every week we put out a penny list, and these are the items that are going to be a penny that week. And you can go into Dollar General, and they're literally 1 cent. Penny.
How do you keep from becoming a hoarder? Follow-up question.
Very, very carefully.
I bet that is so fun. Oh my God, you're the modern day coupon mom.
Well, and the cool thing about it is that it's really what you've created is a community of people because there's so much dialogue back and forth in terms of your social media platforms. And of course, as we all know, the best part about getting a great deal is telling somebody else all about it, which you really kind of foster that type of communication with the folks that follow you.
Yes, and I'm definitely the person at Christmas that when people open their gift, I'm like, you won't believe how much I paid for that. Guess.
And it's a badge of honor, not
it's the guessing game.
Slight.
Yes.
I love it. And do you find it all, because I know we've worked with, a lot of these resellers and liquidation companies and these now warehouse things and these online that try and go in and grab all of this inventory. Has that kind of changed the way that you do business here or not really?
Not really. I think that some of the companies like Target has started selling off a lot of their items and their seasonal stuff, it goes down to 90% some of the times, but sometimes they're just taking it to 70 and kind of selling it off by the pallet. Walmart, I think, is selling a lot more stuff by the pallet, but in general, you can still go in and get a lot of clearance.
Is there a one in your mind that you're like, this was the best deal I ever got?
Oh, one of my favorites was the cheese ball haul. I call that the Great Cheese Ball Haul. I think I had 65, those big canisters of cheese balls?
Yeah.
And I paid 65 cents. I filled up the back of my Tahoe with cheese balls for 65, less than $1.
Wait, 65 containers for 65 cents?
Yes, the big containers.
I would never have to shop for another classroom party again.
No, exactly.
Done.
You would need to pay for a storage unit. But who cares? But that's
3.
a problem for another day.
All right, so tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram at The Freebie Guy, Facebook, TikTok, and also on my website, thefreebieguy.com.
And please feel free to let all of your millions of viewers and followers know that they should tune in for this episode.
Exactly. I feel like we got some good dirt.
I mean, this is a great guest. We appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's talk about it. Do you have the stamina to, what keeps you, because I feel like
to get the cheese balls?
Well, because I feel like I'm more of the I'm downloading the digital coupon. These are 99 cents, and you're like, did it happen? Did it not? I don't really know.
That is accurate.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up with a true coupon mom.
Yeah.
And I think that some of it, standing in line, I will be honest, that you do what you have to do. And we were like a bean and rice kind of family. But sometimes when you're standing in the line waiting for the coupon to scan so many times over and people are waiting and it's like, can we just pay like the price for the bean and move on? So I think that I have a little bit of ebb and flow where in adulthood I would like to be like, I just don't want to use the code today.
Oh no.
I just want to move on. However, Heath is so bad on the opposite. Like he will just like pay whatever, that it makes me lean more into coupon codes and looking for sales because we got to balance it out. And if he can't find a prescription or something, he'll just pay top price for it. I'm like, no, we need to like go to Sam's or we need to go CVS or we need to price match it or whatever.
I do. Doug has to reel me in sometimes because I'm like, oh, but I could save, He's
like, babe, we can afford like the full price beans.
We can go ahead and treat yourself to some beans, right? But I mean, I'll, famously, buy patio furniture and then return all of it because I can get a better deal on it, 2 weeks later or whatever. I
would do that as well. And I think that I budget more on smaller things, but I will I love a designer bag. I love designer shoes. I love tailored clothes. Yeah. I like in a different, not super pregnant era, I like to just have things really lovely quality products. However, then I will like scrimp a little bit on other things or look for bargains for Brighton's clothes. She doesn't know yet. She doesn't
know yet. She's fine. Well, she wears a uniform to school. She's fine.
Exactly.
I'm the same way. Like I like to drive a nice car. I do have a few nice jewelry pieces that I like to wear. But other than that, I bought a suit the other day and I was on the fence with and I was there and it was done. I was buying it and I said to the guy, I said, oh, it says, because we were ringing out on their website. I said, it says coupon code. Do you have one? And he's like, no. He goes, oh, you know what? Maybe he's like, we have one. He goes, it hasn't worked in a long time, but let me see. And he typed it in. $100 off.
Oh, heck yes.
$100 off.
That is excellent.
Just because I asked.
Will you keep if a place has a punch card, some places are still doing punch cards. They're very retro. Will you keep a punch card?
Have we met?
I mean, of course you keep a punch card. His wallet doesn't even close.
I'm the guy that keeps my coupons from the state fair a year later.
It's smart. You should. I do have like a couple punch cards. Yeah. I have one to the organic spray tan place.
Exactly. I was going to say what kale and ground dirt place
the smoothie place, and that's it. Otherwise, my wallet won't close. So that's just got to be the end of it. I wish those would go digital though.
Yeah, well, for sure. All right, listen. If you want all the digital deals, make sure you follow the Freebie Guy. There's some super great stuff on here, not only on his website but on his social media as well, which you can of course find on Instagram and Facebook. You'll find us on Amazon. We're on iTunes. We're on Google. Where else? Spotify. We're everywhere.
iHeartRadio.
New episodes every Tuesday morning. And if you do nothing else today, go find yourself a friend you don't need to clean the house for. Happy holidays, everyone.